We are here with episode 11. A short one here today, but some interesting account health news coming out of TikTok. So let's get started with the first topic here. Gabe, kick us off with the first topic and then tell me what's going on.
Yeah, David. TikTok Shop, they're implementing account health ratings, right? That's what's going on? And
AHR, yes.
yes, AHR. And I feel like we talked to a lot of our clients, just a lot of people in this field, about TikTok. They want to get on it. They want to utilize it because it's a great platform to get on right now. But sometimes I feel like not all of us know how to operate it at scale. And so as we talk about account health ratings, AHR, do you think this would be like a shift for brands to be like, maybe I should step back from the TikTok side? Or do you think it would be like, if we're on the TikTok side already, this is going to help me focus on TikTok and just try and scale it?
No, this is a good question. I would never say stop focusing on it, especially if you're already in the middle of it. Stop focusing on it if you're not all the way focused. So, not necessarily meaning that you can only have that particular channel, but if you don't have a plan, you're just kind of going at it willy nilly. Maybe take a step back, is all I'm saying. But TikTok is a player now. You can't bypass that. If you're not on TikTok, it's got to be in your next part of your growth strategy, and you need to make sure that it's going. It's got to be in the plan soon. It can't just be getting pushed off. But we've had clients like that. So
Yeah, 100%. My follow-up question is, when does this start? I know they mentioned like a preview is going on, but when does it like fully come into placement?
no, that's a good question. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's Q3. I don't know if there's like a solidified date or if it rolls out and then all of a sudden before Q4 it's going to be pretty big. And it doesn't necessarily change a lot of like the things that you're doing, but just how they're rating it for you. And maybe it makes it a little easier for you to manage through this. Amazon does a good thing with account health. They kind of like blend it and they give you like a 30-day and they're not going to take immediate action on it. Whereas at TikTok right now, like if you screw up week by week, you kind of get shut down fairly quickly. Amazon gives you a little bit more leniency. Maybe it's because there's a lot more sellers on there. They have a lot more ability to like degrade your listing so that it doesn't show up. So they have a little bit more tools than just like, hey, you can't sell anymore. So maybe this is actually a good thing. But Q3, I believe it's rolling out unless you have a solid date. But I don't think there is a solid date for everybody for every account, to be honest.
Okay, makes sense. Just for listeners out there as well, we've kind of studied into this a little bit more. The account health rating is a scale from 0 to 1,000. For most brands that are on it, you're going to be sitting at, well, every brand's at 200, right, David?
Yeah, I think that's kind of baseline, similar to like an Amazon. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so sitting at 200. I wanted to bring up this just quick question really quick. We've heard a lot about like how you go down in points, your listings freeze. You go down a little bit more, they freeze for longer. And if you're down at 0, your brand or your store is just obsolete. It's not, you can't utilize it anymore. But with 150 points, your listings freeze for 7 days. Can you walk us through how a brand ends up at 150 points?
Yeah, the biggest reason, similar to Amazon, especially for those who are not utilizing TikTok's fulfillment network, is if you're fulfilling yourself. So, like, the biggest reason why most brands go under isn't because like compliance, because you can't even get started if you have bad compliance really on TikTok. It's going to be your fulfillment. They want to compete with Amazon, and Amazon's known for a fantastic fulfillment kind of service. And so that craze of fast fashion or Chinese buying has kind of died a little bit. You don't really see that happening a lot now. And TikTok understands that the reason for that is because I'm not going to buy something and wait a month to get it anymore from China. Whereas Amazon's rolling out their haul section where you can still get really good shipping, but with a cheap. Like, and I don't mean cheap to downgrade certain products like they're cheap, but sometimes they are just cheap. And so TikTok's trying to counter that with like being still high value, still top of the line products, but with great fulfillment and customer service. They want their customers to get that product fast while it's still top of mind. And so for people who want to see what that impact, how the point system impacts them, it's going to still be your fulfillment. So like one of my biggest things is that if your 3PL isn't going to get the product out within the right time frame, they're not a partner, they're a risk. So find that partner because that's what you need to succeed on TikTok. You can't afford to be down 7 days, right? So that's going to be a big factor for it.
Yeah, for sure. I also wanted to just bring up, David, what it would be like some of your advice for operators that are on TikTok right now, with TikTok rolling this out. What would you say that they need to do to just understand this account health rating and make sure they're on point?
First, review it. Like go through TikTok's backend and understand where you currently stand. Understand the point system. Understand like how high can you get, how quickly can you get up there. Like Amazon is super good at, and like we'll see how this rolls out to everybody, but Amazon's super good at like sharing that with their sellers because they want them to do better. So the more feedback they can provide to the sellers, and it's up to the seller, you, to utilize that feedback now. Make sure that you're reviewing where you stand, reviewing the numbers of what your shipping rates are, finding out again what carriers are going to get that product to your partner the fastest. And it's not going to be the same carrier for everywhere it goes. You're going to have to switch it up a little bit. And so those are the things that are going to get impacted. Just be aware of your business. It's difficult. It seems like a lot, right? But once you get into it and you put these SOPs into play to check and monitor these things, it becomes easier for you to feel more comfortable with what's happening in your business than getting surprised later.
Awesome. Last thing, David, and this is my last question, or last discussion we can talk about, but what can operators rely on, like for an agency like Anata? What can Anata do to help with these situations? Because I mean, it seems like these past few weeks have just been crazy. A lot of news within the e-com world just hitting us with all these fees and stuff. But now with this, obviously there's a ton of things that we can talk about. But yeah, what's the Anata angle? How can we help out?
Right now, it is carrier rates, like making or carrier connections and relationships. So in the shipping OS right now, in our sync with TikTok, we want to be able to prioritize impact orders and not just by one-to-one. So that usually your order flows come through and it's like, okay, every hour start with the oldest and work your way up to them. We sometimes give in certain instances a hour threshold because like for instance TikTok hold your orders for an hour before they release them to the platform, so they're untouchable for an hour. So what we might do is treat like a 2-hour order as a 1-hour order in our platform. We have to be a little bit more flexible with certain clients that and where those orders are coming from just because of the overall impact. We won't do that for everybody, but with Anata and the platform itself, and if you use our fulfillment services with the platform or the platform with your own fulfillment services, understand like the impact of every order and where it's coming from and what carriers work best for that order in that region. And so that's our angle right now. Our little plug is like use our system. It's free. Call us anytime you need to get any questions of onboarding or anything like that, because this could save a lot of brands a lot of money.
Perfect. Awesome, dude. That's all I had. Discussion wise, do you want to close this out?
Yeah, I'll close this out. Well, we appreciate episode 11 and closing this out a short and sweet one. We hopefully have a lot more as we get better and better down the road. Check out our clips, like, comment, subscribe, do all of the things, and we will catch you on the next one.